Welcome to the Patriot Hour. I'm Michael, your host for 3/22/18. QAnon, Q clearance. If there's any new updates, we're going to jump into them. If not, we're going to go right into the map. So stick around, and we're going to get right into it.
You know what letter that is, Grover?
I think so.
What letter is this?
Q.
Q. This
Yeah.
is indeed a Q.
Hey, Froggy.
Welcome to the Patriot Hour. I'm Michael, your host. If you're new to the channel, take a look around. If you're new to the QAnon, Q clearance, what is it? What does it mean? What are all of us talking about? Take a look around the internet. Take a look around the channel. You're going to find all kinds of videos, bring you up to par. You kind of have to be understanding what's going on to just jump in. Lots of comments. People are lost. I understand. Bear with us. You're going to have to do all kinds of research to get caught up to speed. I've been having tons of comments. Some just people stopping by like, you guys really believe in this stuff? Well, honestly, in a way, it's kind of like, you know, it's more normal to not believe in possibly aliens and UFOs, that it could be just technology. That's pretty normal. There's absolutely zero proof that most of these people that just go along with the mainstream version can provide us to make us think otherwise. So we know that the government hoards technology, that they're a couple hundred years, if not advanced on technology that we see. GPS, things like that, great tools we use. The government had them for 20, 30, 40 years before they tossed them our way because they moved on. We get old technology that they are done playing with and deemed to be no longer, worthy in their realm. That's how it works, folks. So do your research before you just sometimes open the mouth. We've got enough of that going on. And again, if you're not into this, there's plenty of things on normal television, I'm sure, that would suit your interest. Just go back to, watching those shows and sleep well at night, I guess, if that's what you've been doing. So for those of us other folks, we're going to jump into this. We're going to see if there's any new Q updates. So let's see here. Okay. I'm in the way, of course, but I will. If we're just going to go into the map, I need to be right here anyway, probably. So. Okay, and there is no new updates. So here we are. We're going to get into the map. Okay, so again, I have told people you can sit here and type in names from each end of the arrows and do your own research on any one of these if you think it's kind of odd or funny or just seems weird. I'm sure it does. So the blue represents weaponized weather war, okay? And, again, folks, there is lots of valid proof that these groups of countries sat around in, I don't know, the 40s or 50s, and they discussed weather. If any country was able to harness the weather and use it for, that they'd never use it for war or against another country, using hurricanes or tornadoes or just, bad weather in general. So that was discussed a long time ago. But what happened after that meeting and certain groups of countries signed off, they all went back to their own countries and started playing with it. Countries that might have not even known. I'm sure it wasn't that, brought up at a table at some meeting and they're like, oh, really, weather? And started jotting down notes. But I'm sure maybe some of these other countries that didn't, weren't as advanced, They sat there and listened and took notes. Yeah. But we know in Vietnam we've seeded clouds. They've been doing it. As far as orchestrating every one of these last things we've had, I'm not saying that. But the weather map here has most of the storms in them, or the bigger ones anyway. So, okay. So this Blackwater, Eric Prince, arrow down to Academia, PMC's private military company. Let me get back over to that. So, yeah, what is that? Academy is an elite security service provider, I guess, that Eric Prince went on to kind of own. Expertise forged in the world's most challenging environments is where they kind of send their people that team up. The company's world-class network of security professionals, mostly, derived out of the old, special forces groups, clandestine, military operatives. So it's a compiled group of lots of, like I said, retired or, just discharged honorably, or I don't know what their, prerequisites are, something to do for sure in the spec ops. And I don't know if it's limited to U.S. Special Forces or if they gather people from, all over. Israeli Special Force, just everywhere. And that could be the case because if you follow the arrow over to the next one, it goes to the craft, which is, they got kind of the Boston Marathon. And this seems to be entangled into the purple, which is MkUltra. So there you go. Do the research on that, and you will make the connections. It's already done here for you, but again, for those kind of like, well, it seems weird, or doesn't make sense, or it's just the connections. I don't know what more can be said on that. So, weather warfare, research since the 1960s. There you go. Star Wars, 1984. That was under Reagan. Star Wars program. Operation Popeye, in the 1960s. You had the WGEN towers. FEMA camps kind of cutting in there. RFID chip. HARP. So, again, in lots of these fields, you had the weather over here. So even like 9/11, right? It just really, really chaps me a little bit. We got tons of these ex-special forces or just, good-hearted career military people, maybe 20, 30 years, depending on if they're enlisted or officer. And then they'll go on and get a job with like the CIA. Maybe they'll be hired into the CIA for some of their expertise out of the military. If they're a bomb expert, EOD, 20, 30 years in the military doing that, they are a guru. And then you're going to get hired by the CIA to be a, explosives expert for their missions. This is how it works, right? And then, the whole time that they did their military, they're deemed credible. They get into the CIA, they do another 20 over there, they're deemed credible. So now they got 50 years sometimes, maybe 60 upwards. And then on their deathbeds, they'll talk, or after retirement, because sometimes they see the bigger picture now. And everything works on compartmentalization. We know that from, all this map here, even just the DUMS, the deep underground military. A guy like Phil Schneider, who had very limited, access to the whole map, but just one little area. You never really, they'll hire contractors on the base if you're going to build one of these, and you'll have a group that does the concrete for just 10% of the overall project. That's how it works. Nobody ever sees the full 100% picture. Very few do. If you're someone that's hired in to build something, you're going to see 5 to 10% and then move on. They can get another crew just like you to come and do another 10%. They'll never ask questions. Everyone signs pieces of papers. You're working on a base, you're working on this, and they'll build it up to make you feel, it's honorable. I'm working over at the base, I'm building this, but you don't know what you're doing. Plain and simple. Unless you get invited in, you get to the next couple steps, which is really rare. So keep that in mind. Most of our dissenters have been retired, 30, 40, 50-year government service, good-hearted folk. Even the guy for like September 11th, Building 7, WTT 7, he was on his deathbed last summer, and was talking about he was in the CIA after his military, EOD, perfect example, and most of his missions with the CIA after the military were all overseas things, buildings. He's made bombs as little in cigarette lighters is all the way up to buildings, 80 some story buildings. So he said it, he's done it all. Only towards the last part of his career, very late in it, and 5 years prior to 9/11, he was tasked with a group of other folks to start wiring up building WTC-7 with that nanothermite. They did it in broad daylight. They went in under the shill company that they were, a contractor doing some work there. That was, and if you look into WTC-7, they went through all kinds of work in the years prior to. This is a third building that fell that day. I don't know if any of you know that. In September 11th. 3 buildings that day fell, only 2 planes. So we had one that completely fell. They waited till about 5 o'clock in the evening, several hours. It was blamed on, office fire. No plane hit it. There was no jet fuel for this one, but the thing fell like free fall fashion. And the NIST report dang near just, goes right over it without really any true explanation, or a pretty jank one. So here you go, you got a guy on his deathbed just telling you, and everyone's like, this guy's a nutcase. That's the common thread. You have these people that are credible for 20 years in the military, 30 years in these agencies, alphabet agency, pick one, 3-letter, anyone. And then if they retire from that, and then they decide to start talking, warning, trying to, they realize it was wrong. They, everyone thinks, oh, what a kook. And it blows my mind. So, patriot, honorable, good man, woman, worthy enough to serve, worthy enough to get this next job. And, if you're getting hired into the CIA for the years or the FBI, you're the top of the top. You're not, deemed to be unstable or, you got your things, you're groomed for those kind of jobs. So, it's just a shame that all these people, over the years, tons of them have, put their butts out on the line. A lot of them, have been silenced, double tap to the back of the head labeled suicide. We like to call that murder side, but, it's just, heed the warnings. At least give these people the benefit of the doubt to, they served you all these years, did all these great things that were all honorable. And then the least they, if they're trying to tell you something that ain't quite right, at least you can do is, give them the minute to take a look at it. Put your, Singing with the Stars on hold. Pick up a book. Look at the map. I mean, everything on here is true as far as, now are all the connections right? And does it really mean anything? But, it's all, we know Charles Manson existed. We know Jonestown happened. Waco, right? Columbine, Dark Knight Shootout, Sandy Hook, Boston Marathon. So, yeah. And then it's like, well, these all did exist. What about these arrows kind of connecting things? How about that? Does that all add up? Well, if you do the research, you start seeing, there's coincidences. How many coincidences before it becomes mathematically impossible? That's all we're saying. So Lots of questions on this map. Where can I get it? Where is it? How did you get it in color? I've been putting the link underneath. If you made it this far in this video, the link is going to be underneath. It has been down the last couple of days, on and off. Everything is starting to pick up. People are starting to wake up, and they're starting to want to look up. So I don't have any control over that. The Looking Glass, great website. I'm actually just shooing everyone over there. I'm putting the link down on, and their servers are getting overcrowded. It happened with the keyboard. The keyboard was down for, it got hit. When you have 1 million people join overnight on something, servers or things tend to get, overbogged because they're sometimes people pay for what they're seeing. Like they don't have an abundance of, hosting and whatnot. So, okay. So again, look at the map a little bit, just start doing some of the connections. Again, at the bottom, you got your grid telling you pink is antiquity, blue is pre-modern, the green, the lime or, darker green is ETs. The red is going to be fascism. The purple represents MkUltra. The light neon green represents depopulation agenda. The orange is your false flags. The blue is your weather war. Okay, you see kind of a lot of the red more up there and some of the pink for, antiquity. Some more blue up there. It's a lighter blue. What's the darker blue? Is it all the same? Okay, it's pre-modern. And then the lighter blue is your weather. And then all the yellow down here is Trump era. So, that's what they're saying. We're in the Twitter censorship, the Me Too, right? The meme wars, North Korea Rocket Man. So this mystery machine here, Delta Force, Sword Dance, QAnon on the 4chan, QMAP, +++++++. Nothing is random. Everything has a meaning. All right. So again, just wanted to do a little update video for you guys there. Possibly here in a little bit, I'm gonna do a little beam in with Ben. He's been on the show before, and we're gonna go over some of the map as well, possibly, or if there's any new Anon Q clearance, crumbs, drops, and possibly break down a post like I was saying. If not, we're supposed to be having another show tomorrow, the Patriot Hour. I've got some of the guys in the room. We're going to try to get a flow on that going a little differently than what we have been doing, just because we're getting better and we're learning. So a couple good videos coming out later tonight, possibly, and then tomorrow. So stick around for that. If you're new to the channel, subscribe, ring the bell, share, comment, leave an email. Check the box below, the description box. I'll leave the map. It'll be the very last thing. It'll be the Looking Glass. And then when you get there on that website, you need to scroll down maybe about a quarter of the way. You have to kind of pay attention. You're going to see these maps pop up. Let me show you real quick here if I can even do it here. See, it takes me right to the map on that one. So let me see. There it is. So this is a normal website. Brings you right here. Now, if you're on a phone or a tablet, I don't know about that. I have not done that yet. Maybe I've been there on my phone, but I don't think so. It's a lot on here, so it takes forever to load. But there's lots of moving images. But anyway, let me get on. So you can hit some of these and it'll take you right to it down there. But you want to go past these first few videos, and there's that one. If you just click on it, it's going to bring you right to there. There's the clear one, right? Here are the colored ones. And then here's this one showing you how to read all three of them. They're all the same, but you know, they're color coded. And here is the flow, which is number 3, or what is it? 1 and 2 on the sides. 1 and 2 over the sides, all right? 1 and 2. 3 in the middle. They both dump in, and it comes straight down. How to read the map chronologically, all right? So click on that one. You have to follow the link. I don't know if you don't have Facebook set up, then I don't know. It'll probably just give you the... On my projector, it doesn't go through Facebook. It just opens up. So there you go. There, and that's how you do it. If you want to save it, like I have, you can come up here and do print, save, all kinds of things. Share it. So there you go, folks. All right. Took another couple minutes there to show you that again. And I've done it in other videos, but I get it. Some people are just jumping into these, and you know, other than going back to my old video, I'll take the time. So there you go. Appreciate it. I'm Mike, Patriot Hour. Like, subscribe, share, comment. Please, we really, really appreciate all the comments. It's been great. The discussions, the debates. Keep it friendly. Let's get brainstorming. And that's how things get figured out sometimes. People bring in great angles. I'm looking at things all the time, and then it leads me on to other things. So by no means do I have all this 100% right. I don't know anyone that could. It's a well-devised, well-manipulated ancient hope that's been going on for thousands of years. So they've spent lots of time, lots of money, writing things. They word things just right. Most of these people that are involved are lawyers on a level, so they're not idiots. Well, they kind of are, but they're not when it comes to how to, CYA, cover their butts. So, okay. Again, thank you. God bless. We'll see you here soon. Stick around. Keep digging for the facts and the truth, and can't be wrong.
You know what letter that is, Grover?
I think so.
What letter is this?
Q.
Q. This
Yeah.
is indeed a Q.
Hey, Froggy.